because they need to know what we're doing, because what we're doing is we're building a Black Hollywood. And I want to say hello to some of you that are coming in here. Let's see, I see Adele and Alan and Alfred Dixon and Barbara Bernard Watts, Benjamin King, Candace Hamilton, Charles. Let's see, Carmen. I see a lot of you in here. CJ Mosley, Sierra Floyd. Let me know what city you're from. Also, let me know what city you guys are coming from, because I know that you all are from all over the planet. And I like to, it's a fun little game to see who comes from the most interesting place, or the most odd or abnormal or unheard of place, I guess. Let's see, we got Tampa for Hassan, and Alan says hello, everyone. Edna's in Las Vegas. Let's see, Katira's in Rochester. She's going to be getting snow in about a week. Bernard in New Jersey. Bernard Hardy, how you doing, brother? I know Bernard. I think I know him. Is that Big Nard? Big Nard's a rapper. He's a great rapper. And I just he happens to be a friend of mine. And Laurel, Maryland for Alan Greenstein, and Patricia out of Arlington, Texas, and Marcus from Del City, Oklahoma. So welcome, everybody. Welcome to Black Movie Night. And one thing I wanted to go ahead and do now for sure is introduce our guest for tonight and kind of let you all know how things are going to go. Basically, first of all, I'd like to tell you who's here. We have the stars of the show, Mr. and Mrs. Wright, Tyrone and Jackie Wright. How you doing?
All right. Good.
All right, good to see you all again. Good to see you. And they were on my podcast the other day, and so that was really interesting to hear their story. And now we get to see their story. Now we actually get to see you see it on film and see it all broken down and stuff like that. And of course, we have another very important person without whom any of this could have occurred, which is Miss Tiara KJ Williams, aka Miss Black Hollywood. How you doing today, Tiara?
I'm good. Thanks for having me. Hey, everybody. Thank you for having me. Hey, everybody coming in. I see so many family members, and I see my aunts and my cousins and my friends. I'm so excited.
Ain't it funny when your relatives come in and you kind of like, it makes you extra nervous? You know, it doesn't matter about 3,000 other people. It's like when grandma's in the third row, and it's like, oh gosh, I know that feeling. And of course, my lovely wife, Dr. Alicia Watkins. How you doing today, babe?
Hello. How you doing? How's everybody doing?
Doing good.
All right.
Hey, Dr. Alicia.
Hey, how's it going, Tiara?
Good.
Hello, the right, Mr. and Mrs. Wright. Yes.
Good to see you.
Boy, sweetheart, how you doing?
I'm doing good, babe. I'm doing good. I'm doing just as good as I was 8 minutes ago when we talked in the kitchen. But you know what? Hey, when I see that woman walking through the house, I'm always good. You know, you know that feeling, Mr. Wright. You know that feeling. Yes. We love our Black women, and they love us, and that's what this is all about. You know, this is this film. We don't just do projects. We don't do projects for a profit. We do projects for a purpose. Making money is necessary in order to build an operation, to build an empire, and that's what we're going to do. We are going to do this, right? We are going to build our own Hollywood with our imagery that we can be proud of, and that's going to happen, period. Our children and grandchildren will finish the job. But more important than making money or making a profit is really making sure that you're making the right impact. There's a lot of slimy, greasy ways for Black people to make money in this society, and we see it all over the place. We see all kinds of nonsense out here that don't make no dang sense, and stuff that we know is not good long term. And so what we believe is that we have the ability, because we are so talented and we are the most talented people on the planet. We have the ability to build whatever we want. You know, we are the gods and goddesses that can build the world in our image, and that's what this project is all about. Til Death Do You Part is a film that Tiara, she came to me with this idea, and I said, okay, I think I can help raise a big chunk of the money, and she actually raised some of the money too, and she's the genius behind it. It was her vision. She's the woman of the hour, and we wanted to do this because we are just tired of being misrepresented. You know, we have it's almost like identity theft. You know, when they some of that stuff you see on TV and you're like, those are not Black people, those are aliens. Those are not the Black people I grew up with. Anybody ever feel that way? You know, when you just watching something, you're like, come on, man, we can do better than this. Can't we generate revenue without it being something crazy? And so that's what this project's all about. And also the other reason that the other thing I want to make clear is that we chose to show the film for free because we don't want there to be a barrier to entry that will keep us from really consuming what we need to consume. I mean, I believe right now, maybe I'm being too serious. I'm gonna say it with a smile, but I believe we're kind of in a little bit of a cultural war. We have a lot of stuff going on that's a little bit anti-family, and I'm not here to talk about what we don't like. I'd rather talk about what we love, and because love is stronger than hate. So we're not here to hate nobody or be mad at nobody or talk down to anybody, but we are here to talk up about ourselves. We're here to talk about how great we can be, and that's what this project's all about. So what I'm going to do is before we begin the project, I'd like to ask Mr. and Mrs. Wright. You're the subject of this whole project. How did it feel to kind of have your life kind of on full display like that? That had to feel a little bit awkward at times.
Yeah, it did. It did at times feel a little awkward, but Tiara was so wonderful and so patient, and she made it feel like a therapy session, if I could say. So it was it was good. It was good.
Yeah, from my perspective, I thought it was extraordinary. As you said, she pulled back the curtain. Tiara entered into a couple of places that I think initially we said I wanted to stay away from personally. And she just moved right on into it. Probably, as you guys know, she can sneak her way and slide right on in. And before you know it, you're crying and all kind of things. But I thought it was extraordinary to be able to be transparent as to the degree of which we should have been, because ultimately the film will help so many couples. That's our belief. Again, I enjoyed the process, the project, and certainly how pertinent it is for such a time as this.
Yeah. Well, I'll go to my wife, Dr. Alicia, on this because one of the things you and I have talked about is that sometimes as men, be that idea of being open and vulnerable and kind of sharing our emotions and stuff like that. That's hard to do. That's hard to do. I don't know. Sometimes if I get in a situation where I get teared up or something, you kind of stop yourself because you're kind of like, oh, wait a minute, I'm getting too carried away. Is that something you tend to see with your clients when you're in therapy sessions?
Yeah, well, I mean, what's interesting is that when men are out into the world, you can't go around crying all the time when things bother you. And so I have seen men who I've seen alone in session, and they're smiling and everything in the waiting room. And then when they come into my office, that's where they just let it all out. And I think that's so important for a man to have a wife where he feels comfortable letting his guard down and just being raw and himself. And then we can butter them up and love them up so that they can go out into the world as confident individuals, knowing that they got that big load off their chest, so they don't have to carry that anger and that hurt or the pain, whatever they are feeling. These emotions are deep and heavy. So men really enjoy having a safe place where they feel like they can just release and let go.
So Tiara, I'll ask you the last question before we start the film. And everybody who's watching from the outside, just know I'm going to shut off the live feed. And if you want to join us for Black Movie Night, you can just go to blackmovienight.net. That's where you can register. The URL's right there on the screen. And it's totally free for the community. You just got to sign up and pay attention. You ain't got to pay money, but we need you to pay attention. So Miss Tiara, as you're working on this project, what were you kind of looking for? What was unique about the Wrights in terms of how they fit into the overall telling of the story of Black love and family relations?
Well, I was introduced to the Wrights from the Brooks, the couple we had last week. And I thought when I initially got there, I was like, we had a consultation kind of to see if we could even, kind of tell their story or if they would be open. And I remember getting there and it was like, Tyrone was like, this is what it's going to be. And this is what it is. And I'm not telling I was like, okay. So actually today, he's absolutely right, which I was like, oh Lord. And I think Marlo is actually here, but who was also with me at this, during this process. And it was the day he came, I said, Marlo, I don't know if we're going to be able to get what we need from the Wrights. But when we walked in, it was like they were ready to kind of talk about the pain and the grief, and it was that they were experiencing. I mean, they're so powerful, and they are endearing. Like you walk in and you're just welcomed, So I really fell in love with the Wrights. I thought that their story was unique to the rest of the couples because they dealt with different topics. Yes, we talked about communication, but there was something unique, and it was about grief and, you know, how to overcome grief. And they've had, even since this situation that we're about to see, they've had grief and still continue to thrive as a couple and hold each other up. And they are just really special, and I really love them.
Well, definitely, I just really want to have a moment of silence for just 1 second for their son Joshua. Joshua's correct. That's his name. Ashe to him. You know, my heart was in tears. You know, when I heard the story, and I really want to say thank you for sharing that with us, because so many people are going to benefit from your openness. And I know, and I can tell Mr. Wright's a big, strong man, and I know I know how hard that is to do, and I respect you for that, and Mrs. Wright as well. You're my heroes. You're my absolute heroes, and these are the heroes that I see in the community, and I'm really excited to show the film. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to be quiet, and I'm going to press play. And once we're done, after the movie's done, we're going to come right back in, and our panelists are going to join us, and we're going to talk about what we just saw. And everybody in the chat, before we get started, I want y'all to type family. Everybody type family in the chat. How many kids y'all got again? Total? Is it 3? 3 sons. 3 sons. That's right. And Josh was always a son, right? So everybody type family in the chat, because I've told you all 1,000 times, family is a key to wealth. No community has ever been able to accumulate wealth and power without family. Go show me any community with a bunch of broken families that has any type of power anywhere. So we must take that word and make it sacred as it is. And so without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and share the screen, and also the panelists, if you would mind muting or dimming your camera and turning your mic off, that would be beneficial. I'd appreciate that very much. So there we go. Tiara got it. Okay. And Mr. Okay. And Mr. and Mrs. Wright, I can actually turn to, there we go. All right, perfect. We are good now. All right, so I'm going to share my screen, and y'all know that usually when it comes to technology, I do at least one thing wrong. And everybody who's listening online, just know if you go to blackmovienight.net, you can actually watch the film. We're about to start the film right now, so go ahead and hop into blackmovienight.net and register and come on in, and you can join us. All right, we're gonna be here for quite a while tonight. So see you all in a little bit. All right. Okay.